Okay. Well, this is actually going to be a day one supplemental because it was just something that I wanted to talk about, and I didn't mention it in the first video, which I really should have. Um, and it's actually security. And the reason I call it security is because it relates to um, things that we have to do in order to make sure that we don't uh, subconsciously turn off alarms or sleep through alarms so that we break our sleep, pattern. Because we have to stay regimented so the mind understands that this is where it needs to put REM sleep, and it doesn't have a not just REM, but the stages of sleep, and it doesn't have anywhere else to put it but in that place, and that's why it's important to keep to that schedule. So okay, and the security methods that I'm using now, then this is over two attempts over many, not many but several different types of failures. I've come up with the following security methods. And number one is the alarm. Okay, that's the key. That is a absolute key to what we're doing. And uh, I personally would not advocate any sort of clock-like alarm or external sort of alarm that you can reach out like a cell phone or anything like that. Nothing that you can touch as an alarm. I absolutely would not recommend it, because in the deepest, heaviest struggles against the boogeyman, okay, um, the subconscious mind will just basically, you'll be asleep, in other words, and it'll just turn off the alarm, and you won't even know it. It'll find a way to do it. It will find a way, and um, to make a regular clock or a cell phone or something like that, to be impregnable to the subconscious mind, which is brilliant. I mean, it's actually brilliant in its ability to act without the conscious mind being aware of it. Um, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to set something up like that. You have to do weird things like put a bucket of water where, I mean, just crazy stuff. I mean, and just why? Why do that? I personally recommend using your computer. Okay. Um, and the reason why is because, um, number one, you have full control over what alarm you use. Okay. So you can make sure to use the one that's going to reliably wake you up. Um, Number two, you control the sensory, not sensory, you control the input device. You control the the input device to the computer, input devices. Okay. So what I mean by that is, if you're using your computer alarm, okay, then you have the keyboard and you have the mouse. Okay, those are your input devices. All right, you can actually unplug those from the ports before you go to sleep. Okay, and by doing that, when the alarm goes off, there's no way to turn it off. There's nothing the subconscious mind can do to turn that off. It will remain on, and that's what I do every single time. It's the only way to make sure, apart from a computer crash, okay? The subconscious mind cannot cause a computer crash, okay? But, you know, that's the only way to make sure a subconscious mind doesn't disrupt that alarm. It's impregnable because there is, unless you forget to unplug, if you forget to unplug the keyboard and mouse every time you go to sleep, yeah, you'll have issues. Okay, but if you remember every single time you do it, impregnable. That alarm will be on. It will run. Okay. So the other thing was, of course, the type of alarm. Okay, that's used. Um, and I don't know if you can hear it now. Um, Let me check. Well, let me update my device. No, it won't. Okay, so I'm sort of stuck in. Well, on previous videos, I've actually, it was my second attempt. The first video on my second attempt, so it'll be day one. Um, it'll be a day one video, and there'll be two of day one videos. Okay, it'll be the one that doesn't have any sleep phases associated with it, and I believe it has a .avi extension. So it'll be like day one something .avi, and that's all it'll say. It'll say like polyphasic adaptation day one .avi. I think that's the actual name of it. And on that, I play the alarm that I'm using, and it is a air raid siren, a real one, an actual air raid siren that's used to. I mean, I'm suppose it was used in World War II to for incoming bombers or something, but it's used today, even to this day, for tornado alerts. So if you're sleeping at 2 a.m. but a tornado's coming, that's the alarm that they play, that the city plays to wake you up or to get your attention during the day when there's other noise going on. Okay, because they actually did studies to figure out what's the best alarm that we can use to get people's attention, to wake them up, to break into their consciousness. They found that this air raid siren is the best way to do it, and that's why they use them. Okay, so that's what I play. I play that air raid siren, and it's loud, loud, loud. So and it has an added benefit. I mean, the added benefit of that air raid siren is that if there's somebody else around that's in the same house with you or anything, it'll oftentimes get them to get up and start knocking on the door. Okay, which I lock my door before I go to sleep. But anyway, it'll bring someone else. It can actually bring someone else, and if you do have someone else around, you can tell them, if you hear that alarm, please come get me and wake me up. And this way, it'll absolutely, because since the input devices are removed from the computer, the only way that the subconscious mind will be able to win over that alarm is to simply um, keep you asleep. Like, just you will, that alarm will be going, and you will just continually sleep through. I think that air raid siren is the best way to avoid that, but it can happen. And at this point, I don't have any method to address that. Um, I have some theories about how I might do that, and theories about addressing that, because really I'm calling that the subconscious boogeyman, where the boogeyman you'll find that will be there during the day, and then you'll conquer it, but it'll be there when you're going to sleep, and then it'll actually take over in your sleep. It will take you over in your sleep while you're sleeping, and then prevent you from waking up. Okay, and if that is the case, then there's a whole set of things that we might be able to do prior to going to sleep to discourage that. But I'm just going to wait till I experience that more, and boogeyman second wind, and just see where that goes. But so that is security. The software that I'm using, I'm actually using I only use freeware, so I mean that's just the way I roll. And the software is called um, Free Alarm Clock. Those are three words: Free Alarm Clock. Um, and you can actually Google it. Let me see if I can get something so we can prove it's Free Alarm Clock. I'm trying to see who published it. Those are the three words. There's a CNET download for it. Um, Comfort Software. Okay, the name of, so it's the right one, because there's Free Alarm Clock is a often used title in Google for alarm software, but Comfort Software Group actually publishes it, so you'll know that's the one I'm talking about. Okay, and then you can set your own tones, your alarm tones. You can download audio from the internet. You can just find audio. Um, free audio to download, and then you download it and then put it in the alarm software so that it plays that as the alarm, and you'll be set. The only other thing I wanted to mention is that in this last sleep phase, okay, which is the first sleep phase of day 2, I did not get to sleep. Sleep approached several times, at least 3 or 4 times. Sleep approached where it was attempting to assert itself, okay, but it did not. It was not successful. And I was spent the whole 30 minutes just waiting to go to sleep like that. So I don't know. I really don't know the impact on that. I feel fine for that. Um, and we'll see what happens. I'm sure it's part of the adaptation process somehow, but um, yeah, still adapting. So still not adapted yet. I suppose that's what that means. So you get to a point to where you go to sleep, you lay down, and you go to sleep every time. It just bang, 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 like and it starts clicking. So it shows that I'm still early in my adaptation, and there's going to be some more hard work to go. So I'll be keeping you updated on that, and the next video should be the day 2 summary. So talk to you soon.